view is that with
Los que recién se han unido, bienvenidos a RICARDO'S Time. Estamos reaccionando por primera vez en vivo a un video de Ayn Rand. Así que sigamos.
if we all became more comfortable with our natural tendencies, that is to say, selfishness, there would be less horror, less war, less Hitler.
There wouldn't be any.
So the more selfish we are, the more kind, the more tranquil and peaceful the world in which we live?
And more benevolent toward other people, if we're rationally selfish. By that I mean a selfishness which can justify one's every action rationally, not.
Para los que recién se unen, ya he visto este video hace tiempo, no es la primera vez, pero definitivamente no recuerdo todo lo que hay acá, así que diría que mi reacción, si bien es cierto, no es mi primera reacción, igual me sigue sorprendiendo lo que dice acá en cada momento Ayn Rand. Está hablando, acá, para los que recién se unen, se está hablando del altruismo, sacrificarse, vivir por otros, versus egoísmo, pensar en uno mismo, pero no como un depredador, no haciendo lo que a uno se le da la gana a costa de los demás, sino priorizándose a uno, bien, buscando el bienestar de uno mismo sin afectar a otros, ¿no? Y el entrevistador claramente dice cómo uno puede ser egoísta y cómo uno siendo egoísta va a tener un mundo más benevolente si todos solo van a pensar en uno mismo, ¿no?
The kind of whim worship, as I call it, which consists of just indulging your own desires and urges of the moment, and there is no innate, natural idea, you know.
There isn't, huh?
No.
Well, I have a lot of innate tendencies.
You think they're innate. You know what I would say? Check your premises.
Check my premises?
Yeah, check the basic ideas behind any feelings that you might feel at the moment, and you'll see that your feeling comes from your premises, good or bad, but they held subconsciously, they will direct your feelings, and you will think it's innate, right. But it isn't.
How do you avoid, let's take your thesis then and accept it now. I'm going to be selfish. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be real talented and charismatic, and I'm going to develop a lot of wealth, and I'm going to have a lot of money and a lot of banks, and pretty soon nobody's going to be able to compete with me because I've already purchased all my competitors. And now I have dictatorial power over people, and I can name the price of bacon or price of oil or whatever it is, the commodity I'm selling.
You know, I agree with you that you're very talented and you could accomplish a great deal and already have, but you're talking about the impossible. In a free society, nobody can become a monopolist or a dictator. The system itself, the free market, will destroy you.
How do you explain Mobil Oil, Exxon? How do you explain the prices that they're able to charge for?
I think that they're stupid appeasers who get too little and put up with too much.
Who, the oil companies?
Yes.
You
Now, just here you have to let me.
Solo quiero comentar algo rápido de la forma, porque si se dan cuenta, el público, fuera de que la ha ido a ver, a ella, aplaude al entrevistador con las preguntas que hace, que son lo que uno culturalmente en ese ambiente se aceptaba, ¿no? Entonces, como que todo el mundo parece, o muchos parecen estar como en contra de lo que Ayn Rand dice, porque no le... Bueno, sí van a aplaudirla, pero más aplauden al otro, ese es el punto. Interesante, ¿no?
Let me explain.
All right.
If President Carter's own policy admits that we need the oil company and that the lack of oil is a serious national crisis, right, which might lead to the stoppage of all industry. If that is what we need, by what right can we tell those men, go ahead and produce what we want, while we're insulting you, while we're trying to control your business, and while we're not leaving you that which you produced? Today, it's crudely obvious. If we need the oil companies, we have only one of two choices. Either we produce oil ourselves, and no government has ever done it or can do it, or we have to accept the oil companies' terms, pay them whatever they can get. The more they get, the more credit to them, because that means the country needs it and pays them. They've produced something needed by the people. And we must say thank you instead of putting or proposing to put a tax on them in order to give the money to the government who does nothing. The government doesn't contribute anything except impediments.
All right. But if we allow the oil companies to have the power which you say has come to them because we need the oil, it's a question of supply and demand.
Yes.
So if we approach this laissez-faire, as I think you would like us to, free of government intervention,
Right.
free of all the force and the regulation and the controls which you abhor.
Right.
All right. Now we've got Mr. Gigantic Oil Baron saying $2.50 a barrel, a gallon. Now here's what happens. The blue-collar guy who's trying to make a living and feed his kids can't buy gas for his truck, can't possibly survive in the free marketplace, and suddenly he's on welfare, and he's got to go for a handout, another feature of government that you abhor. You can't have it both ways.
But all this is economic fallacies. To begin with, nobody in a free society, now we're talking about a free market,
Yeah.
in which the government doesn't interfere, nobody can become a monopolist. All monopolies are created by a special privilege for government. It's only by an act of government that you can keep competitors out of your field. Therefore,
Está hablando del mercantilismo, de los favores, lobbies y eso. Ayn Rand sostiene que tiene que haber una separación total entre la economía y la política. Es la única manera, si no siempre van a haber favoritismo, corporativismo, etc. Y que, según sostiene, esto no es impulsado, digamos, principalmente por los empresarios, sino es impulsado legalmente, es un incentivo para que el gobierno se beneficie o intervenga pues, en la economía y bueno, ahí tenemos todos los corruptos y eso. Entonces hay que cortarlo de raíz legalmente, pero entenderlo desde un principio moral, ¿no?
you couldn't become that kind of monopoly. The power you hold as an industrialist is not the power to use force. It's the power of producing something of value.
That people want.
And it's the people who literally control you, because every purchase is a vote in the favor of some businessmen and in a way against others. It's the public who decides what they want to buy and what they pass up. If, using your examples, you became this powerful tycoon economically, but you can...
Se acabó. Vamos a uno más y terminamos.
It's the power of producing something of value.
That people want.
And it's the people who literally control you, because every purchase is a vote in the favor of some businessmen and in a way against others. It's the public who decides what they want to buy and what they pass up. If, using your examples, you became this powerful tycoon economically, but you cannot force anybody to deal with you, and you cannot force competitors out of your field, then every smaller man would be in that field because you would have established a price way above the market. You might last a month, if that.
So in other words, if I tried to be Mr. Big and charge outrageously high prices for gasoline,
broke.
I would go broke in your view, because in your leave them alone and let competition handle it approach to civilization, somebody with a better mousetrap, pardon my mixed metaphor.
No, that's a very good one.
All right, would come along and undercut me.
That's right.
Sell at a cheaper price.
But it isn't just my view.
You know what I'll do? I'll buy him up the minute I see this bird. I'll buy him. I'll own him on Tuesday.
And where will you get your money when you're not
I'm already
allowed?
holding them up for $2.50 a gallon.
But they're not paying you. You say they're all going out
But
of
they've got
business.
to get to work. We're married to a petroleum civilization.
All
There's no way
right,
to...
this has been done, you know. It isn't incidentally just my view. That is history. There are people who have tried to corner the market repeatedly, and the result was that they went broke.
Let me see if I understand you now. How do you see if this has got it?
Impresionante la mente de Ayn Rand. Digo impresionante porque la lógica que usa, el conocimiento también que le da la convicción, ¿no? Y bueno, las convicciones que tiene una claridad mental, me parece tan elocuente, tan superlativa, y hace tanto sentido lo que dice, que cada vez que veo el video, la verdad, uno no se aburre porque realmente, por lo menos, tiene un impacto, ¿no? Fuera de los temas técnicos acá, estoy hablando de la forma también, cómo lo transmite, cómo lo explica, así que realmente es sorprendente.
You're saying, in effect, that the oil companies have this power because we gave it to them. We gave it to them with our large cars that need a lot of gasoline. We gave it to them with our wasteful practices of energy. We have such a tremendous demand and need and reliance on oil that we, in effect, have given the people who produce the oil the power over us.
No.
Tell me where that's wrong.
Because the oil producers are not the only people whom we patronize and not the only people who supply a need. Even if
En el chat dicen que solo notan convicción. Claro, eso es por un lado, ¿no? Habría que verificar el contenido, no sé. Uno no lo acepta automáticamente, ¿no? Si es correcto o no lo que ella dice. Y bueno, la mente lógica que ella usa, la mente lógica que tiene, desde mi punto de vista, es realmente extraordinaria, ¿no? Y acá tiene cierta edad también, o sea, y está en sus últimos años de vida, si no me equivoco.
which I say if, it never happens, but let's suppose one oil man cornered the market. He has competition from every other industry who produce other things which we need. Therefore, we cannot give all the power to one company, even if in a given field we patronize only that company. That company is competing with every other producer. And the moment you charge too much and somebody can give us the same product at a lower price, he'll put you out of business.
Okay. You realize, of course, that your critics suggest that this is a pie in the sky, unpractical notion that you're offering to us, and that it sounds wonderful as you gather with the intellectuals at some university, but it doesn't work out on the street.
Quite the
Todos
opposite.
aplauden en
It's
contra.
in the universities that it doesn't work, because all the leftist ideas and all the misrepresentation of capitalism come from leftist liberal professors. The universities.
Ok, perfecto. Acá vemos cómo hace buenas preguntas el entrevistador, sobre todo el delivery, ¿no? La forma en que las pregunta, porque son cosas que la gente cree, hasta irónicamente es el día de hoy. Y Ayn Rand lo aplaude mucho, y cuando Ayn Rand contesta digamos, sin vacilación, la aplaude, pero mucho menos, ¿no? Acá vemos el contraste.
The universities are the real villains in the picture.
Okay. All right. You want...
But
okay,
I
go ahead.
must
Go
make
ahead.
one slight postscript. I don't give a damn about my critics.
You don't, huh?
No.
Well,
Because
No.
I have not
Okay.
heard a good one.
you haven't heard a good one?
No.
Okay.
Someone who would be honest
Right.
and discuss the issues without misrepresentation.
Let's try and walk into some other areas here in the brief time we have.
All
This is a
right.
little frustrating because I've got a lot of folks out here who want to question you. You do not accept the existence of a
Otro
God,
tema,
a divine
Dios.
prime mover, right?
No.
Now, the reason you don't is because you can't prove that such a entity or being or energy exists.
I can't, nor can anyone else. There is no proof.
There is no proof that there is no... so therefore, you've concluded that there isn't one.
That's right.
You can't prove there isn't.
You are never called upon to prove a negative. That's
All right.
a law of logic.
All right. Why can't we have you say, Mr. Donahue, I can't prove there's a God, so I just have to take a pass on that one. No comment. I don't know. Why don't you say I don't know rather than I'm sure there isn't?
Because you can't accept, even as a hypothesis, something for which there is no evidence. I couldn't
I
say
think there's circumstantial evidence.
there isn't any.
Oh, this is pretty impressive, huh?
It's magnificent.
No,
It's
I mean the
building
universe.
built by man.
The universe. You've got to be impressed with the universe. When you see order in the universe, this wasn't an accident, Miss Rand.
Oh, now you've got to give me a few minutes. What do you think would happen in a disorderly universe?
Tiene su sentido del humor Ayn Rand también.
In a
As you were
disorderly...
told, what's the concept of order? What does it have to do with the things which exist? If they clashed with each other, if there were contradictions, they wouldn't exist. There is no such thing as a disorderly universe. Our whole concept of order comes from observing reality. And reality has to be orderly because it's the standard of what exists.
Right. So,
Este punto suena sencillo cuando uno lo escucha y todo. A mí me tomó tiempo entenderlo realmente. Estudiando uno lo llega a entender, ¿no? Lo que dice. Pero es un punto muy importante.
contradictions cannot exist.
okay, so we have an orderly universe because it's impossible to have a disorderly universe.
That's
I got
right.
that. I understood that.
Fine.
Do you understand what a breakthrough that is, that I understood that?
Oh!
All right, now, having accepted that, okay, having accepted that, I still don't understand why can't you just leave the door open? Why do you have to be so unforgiving and so final and so, don't talk to me about it, you can't prove it, and anybody who goes around believing it is wasting time. Okay, we'll get out there and give you that chance in a moment.
He's quite right.
Yeah,
Una
he thinks
persona
God can,
malcriada.
but-
That's right, and shouldn't be.
Okay, yes.
But the real issue here, as far as man is concerned, is that when you accept
All right.
such an important issue as the creation of the universe,
Yes.
on faith, you're destroying your confidence and the validity of your own mind. It has to be either reason or faith. I am against God for the reason that I don't want to destroy reason. I don't.
Give us a chance, all right? We appreciate your zeal, but if you continue that, it's going to make it difficult for the other people to absorb
Oh, I
what's
see.
going on here.
He
Okay?
says, how can I be against God? I'm against those who conceived that idea.
Yeah, but tell us why. Tell us why.
Because then it gives men permission to function irrationally, to accept something above and outside the power of their reason and superior to reason.
And what's so bad about that? Why can't I be a reasonable philosopher walking around wondering what it's all about, struggling, striving, trying to understand, enjoying the quest and the journey, and then in the last little part of my consciousness I say, I know you're there somewhere. I don't understand why you did it this way, but I certainly can't wait to die and find out.
Because that,
Tell me, no, I'm not
Nuevamente
grandstanding.
los
You understand that?
aplausos.
I'm not trying to be cute now. I'm honestly trying to understand, and I know that it's easy to step on a person of your controversial view and wave a flag. I don't want to do that.
No,
But
I
do
know.
you appreciate the question? Do you understand? Why are those two things not possible?
yes, you said it, I think, unintentionally. You said, so I can't wait to die and find out. That, I'm serious, is one of the results of acting on faith. You can't wait to get out of this life.
And what's wrong with that?
Because this life is wonderful, as you said. Because if you look at the universe, it's wonderful. And you
Acá conozco, a mi edad conozco muchas personas que cada vez que son mayores, y no necesariamente es el caso, pero más mayores son o más se pegan a la fe, más como que, no sé si crece miedo en ellos o se dedican más al tema religioso porque quieren conocer otra vida y pierden un poco de vista esta vida, ¿no? Sus metas acá. Eso me ha pasado en los últimos años. He conocido más gente así, he sido más consciente de eso y realmente concuerdo en este punto, ¿no? Uno se pega a la razón o a la fe, a la razón, a las convicciones o a la fe, a creencias. ¿Por qué? ¿Cómo puede uno tener confianza si no tiene convicciones y creencias? Esa es una buena pregunta en hacerse, ¿no? Yo pienso que la fe no te permite tener confianza o toda la confianza que podrías tener, ¿no?
have to use your life to the best of your understanding. If you go by emotions, not reason, it means you're going against reality. Something exists, something is right, and you say, no, I don't like it, because I want to believe something else.
I see.
You, in effect, go by emotions, by your whims, not by reason.
And religion or the God concept or faith or worship has people thinking of life as a veil of tears through which you
That's
will
right.
probably not get without falling. You are essentially an evil person who is bent toward...
Well, most religions do preach just that.
You don't believe that?
God, no.
You think that life should be a celebration?
Sonrisa.
We're lucky to be here? We should be happy to
We
be here.
cannot be
Okay,
lucky,
all right.
because if we
All
weren't
right.
here, we wouldn't be. That's, as an
Perfecto. Bueno, el día de hoy hemos reaccionado a dos pequeños videos de Ayn Rand. Muchas gracias por ver este video reaccionando a Ayn Rand. Subiré muchos más videos en vivo o transmitiré muchos más videos en vivo durante las próximas semanas. Y no solamente a Ayn Rand. Que tengan un muy buen fin de semana, pásenla muy bien en el Día de la Madre. Un fuerte abrazo.